Welcome to Learn with Amin. In this video, I'll be talking about the affidavit for change of appearance and signature. I have received several questions with regards to it as per the new checklist. So let us open the new checklist. So first of all, I'm going to the VFS Indian Passport Renewal application from US. So this is the website. Okay, I'm reviewing the required supporting documents and document checklist. This is part of step 2. Step 1 is government application form. You can view my video on the Indian passport renewal application in United States through VFS Global for more information. But in this video, I'm going to specifically talk about affidavit for change of appearance and signature. So usually people are applying for reissuance of passport by normal service. So I'm going to open that. Now here is the documents that are required. Now you need to check the document checklist for reissuance with passport because you have an expiring passport with you. Now if you check this checklist, there is point number 4, which is talking about the affidavit for change of appearance and signature. This is the latest checklist. Now if you see the latest checklist, it says affidavit for change of appearance and signature original. It does not mention notarized, but if you go on this website, on the documents required, it is saying mandatory affidavit for change of appearance and signature notarized. So that means if it has indicated at one place that notarization is required, then I would recommend all my viewers to notarize the affidavit for change of appearance and signature before you submit your or mail your application to the VFS, because VFS can reject or put on hold an application if there is something missing. So if they realize that they want notarization on affidavit for change of appearance and signature and they have mentioned it on their website, so they would return your application, and if an application is returned, then it incurs additional time and charges of you, so that you send mail once again with a new government application form. So it's an hassle. So since it has been mentioned you need to notarize the affidavit for change of appearance and signature, please notarize it. Now this is the new checklist. So since 2024 this checklist has been changed multiple times, and in the late of 2024 and in the early of 2025, here it was mentioned original and notarized. Okay, so that means they expect the notarization of affidavit for change of appearance and signature. Now if it is mentioning original over here in future, and if it does not say notarized over here, then please assume that we don't need to notarize affidavit for change of appearance and signature anymore. But this might be in the future. Currently, since this is mentioning mandatory notarized affidavit for change of appearance and signature, I would recommend all my viewers to notarize the affidavit for change of appearance and signature. Now in this video, I'm not going to provide you with a link or a direct link to download the affidavit for change of appearance and signature, because VFS makes changes to any documents anytime. So I would want you to click on a link from the latest checklist to download a particular form. Okay, so this is the latest checklist, and I have also provided you the navigation in the earlier part of this video on how to reach your latest checklist. Now this is the affidavit for change of appearance. Okay, now here you can see that this is already a fillable PDF. So you can basically fill the PDF online and you can download it after filling down. Okay, so this is an easy one. Okay, several people have asked me questions. Am I supposed to download the affidavit for change of appearance and signature and then write in the affidavit by hand? So my answer is, please fill these details online. In the future, if the PDF is not fillable, then I would recommend you to use the PDF software that I have been recommending in my Indian passport renewal videos. It is a free software and you can edit any PDF even if the PDF is not editable. But current version of the affidavit for change of appearance and signature is fillable. So please fill in your details. Now, first of all, it is asking the name. So I, comma, you have to enter your name. You can enter your name. Now, since it is in the browser, it is creating some issues. So let me first download it. I have downloaded the PDF, and with any PDF reader, you can see that the current version of the PDF is editable. If it is not editable, then you can use the software to edit any PDF even if it is not editable. So now you need to enter your first name followed by the last name. Okay, here it says son or daughter of, so you need to write your parents' name. Usually it is preferred that you write your father's name. Then you need to write your residence address. So many people have asked me, should it be US address or Indian address? So let me tell you, if you are getting your passport, Indian passport renewal in United States through VFS, you are supposed to write your United States address. So you can write your home number, then followed by street name, then followed by city name, then followed by the state name, then zip code. Okay, and this is the passport number of the current expiring passport or the passport that has already expired. Okay, so you need to enter your passport number, and this is issued on, this is basically the date. So usually that date would have been 10 years ago. So I'm going to enter the details of. Okay, now here many of the people have asked me question, what should be the date format? So please remember, if it is government application form, the date format would be in DDMMYYYY. Now, if you are talking about the affidavit for change in appearance and signature and affidavit E, then the format of the date is MMDDYYYY. But if you want to be on a safe side, please use this format. This is DDMONYYYY format. So you can mention like this, and this is the address. So you can mention where your passport, the expiring passport, was issued. So basically it is mentioned on your passport. Now on your passport, if it mentions the city name followed by the state name, then please follow the same format. But if it just mentions the city name, then you just mention the city. If it is mentioning the city name and then city, then mention it. So please follow whatever is written in your current expiring passport. Now hereby I affirm and declare as under whether my appearance has or has not changed, whether my signature has or has not changed. So the ideal scenario, what I would say is, you select has not changed and has not changed. So with these values, you would not have any hassle from VFS. Now you cannot also lie on your application. If your appearance has changed, then you have to select the option of has changed. If your signature has changed, then you have to select the option of has changed. Now assume that your appearance has not changed and your signature has not changed. Then I received several questions from the viewers. Nothing of the appearance and signature has changed for me. That means both the parameters have not changed. Do I still need to submit the affidavit for change in appearance and signature form? The answer is yes. Even if appearance and signature have not changed for you, you need to submit the affidavit for change in appearance and signature form, and you need to follow the instructions of notarization or no notarization as per the latest checklist, even if both the details have not changed for you. Now, if one of these features, appearance or signature, has changed for you, then you are not eligible to apply for a Tatkal scheme for the Indian passport renewal in United States. I have received several questions saying that I want to apply for Tatkal because it is important and urgent, but my appearance and signature have changed. Can I do it in Tatkal? So the answer is a strict no. If your appearance or signature has changed, then you cannot apply under the Tatkal scheme for the Indian passport renewal in United States through VFS. Okay, so these are the details. Now many of the people have also asked me a question. So my appearance has not changed, but over the past of 10 years I have grown a beard. Now does it count as a appearance has changed or has not changed? I have provided this issue in complete detail in another video. Please check that out. My channel has a playlist for all the Indian passport renewal related in United States, so you can check out those videos. Okay, now here is the date. Once again, you can just follow your format of DD MON YYYY. Okay, now what is the place? This is the place where you are currently located. Okay, so city followed by the state. You need to mention this. Now after you have filled in these details, you need to save it and you need to print this out by filling it on a computer. So you have done that. Now after you have received a printout, remember that you cannot sign this document without going in presence of a notary if you want to get this form notarized. Okay, if you don't want to get this form notarized, if the latest checklist and the website says nothing of notarization, then you don't need to notarize this form. Correct? Now when you don't need the public notarization, then you can just sign on this form and affix your photograph and add it to your application package. Now assume that this particular form is requiring notarization, then you need to add your signature on this using a blue pen. I would recommend a blue pen in the case of Indian processes. If you are applying something to the United States government, I always recommend black ink pen. Now you need to sign this with blue ink in front of the public notary, after appearing in front of the public notary, not at your home. Okay, so that is one important thing. Now if you want to get notarization, you need to affix the photograph and then you need to go in place of the notary. You need to carry your identity card. Then the notary will ask you for the identity card. He will verify your identity. He will verify what name you have written over here. Then he will ask you to sign on this application or the affidavit form. Then he will provide his notary stamp and notary signature at the bottom. Please make sure that the notary expiry is not expiring within the next 6 months. Okay, at least, so that VFS can process this without any issues. Now for example, if the expiry is too soon and you have mailed in your application, and if the VFS or the Indian consulate receives your application after the notary stamp expiration date, then your application will be returned. So just make sure that notary expiry is well ahead in the future. Okay, so for safe side I am mentioning 6 months. Now many of the viewers have also asked me question with regards to the VFS photo service. Okay, in the past few months the VFS photo service were having issues and you could not upload your photograph using the VFS photo service. Okay, if that issue is continuing, I would imagine all my viewers would be sending the physical photographs. In that case, you will be affixing your photograph. Now, let us assume that the VFS photo service issue has been resolved and the viewers want to take the advantage of VFS photo service and upload their photograph instead of affixing physical photographs. Then how do I go about notarization of the affidavit for change in appearance and signature? That is a question that has been asked for me in the past. So my answer is, the affidavit for change in appearance and signature form will be signed and notarized by public notary even without the photograph affixed to this affidavit. So if you are applying for VFS photo service online and if you do not want to attach any physical photographs, that is well and okay. What you have to do is take a printout of this form, take your identity card and go to a notary service. So they would verify your identity from the photo ID or the identity card that you are showing it to him. They will verify that it is you, this person is you. They will also verify the address on the identity card and this address, and they will verify your signature when you sign in front of them. They do not require a photograph affixed to this affidavit form in order to sign and stamp on this particular affidavit with their notary stamp. So if some notary service is refusing to sign or notarize, then I would recommend you to go to another notary service, especially the notary service provided by Indians. They would understand the intricacy of Indian passport renewal in United States through VFS and all these affidavit issues and details. So you could go to them. They would understand that this affidavit does not require a photo affixed, and they would sign and stamp on this document even without it, but you have to sign in front of the public notary. So this is the video on the latest affidavit for change in appearance and signature. If you have any questions, please drop in a comment to the video below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, take care, and bye bye.